When Domino's Pizza was first opened in 1960, the entire day's sale was just $14. But who knew that the newspaper-selling boy who got neither the support of his father nor the love of his mother would one day become the owner of more than 18,000 pizza outlets? But due to circumstances, this victory against the government was not a simple one in any way. The pizza store, which was started by taking borrowed money, faced mountains of difficulties in its journey of growth. Sometimes it would leave, sometimes all the savings would be lost to fraudsters, sometimes it would be cheated by its partner, and most of all, on top of that, the name under which the store was opened was also someone else's. Million-dollar lawsuits that ruined the reputation that the owner of Domino's had built over the years. This is the story of Thomas Monaghan, who faced all these hardships. Starting from zero, he built a billion-dollar empire. Thomas Monaghan was born on the 255th of March 1937 in a middle-class family of Michigan. His father was a truck driver. They were managing the household with great difficulty, and their mother worked in a nursing school. When Tom was just 4 years old, his father passed away, and his mother, who was unable to support the children, handed over Tom and his brother Jim to the government for 7 years. Tom's childhood was full of difficulties. He neither saw the support of his father nor the love of his mother. He only saw the strictness of government foster care and boarding school. He could neither pass his high school properly, nor could he pass college with great difficulty at Michigan University. He got admission, but unfortunately, he did not have money for the tuition fees. Life was giving him many shocks. Finally, he started delivering newspapers door to door. From here, he started learning the basics of business and found a way to save money. He did not let the opportunity slip away. He had just come to his senses when his little savings were stolen by a fraudster. This was the point when, in 1959, Tom's brother Jim came to him with an idea, and this idea was going to change his life. He worked as a postman in the post office, but to meet his expenses, Dominic Devati. He also used to work part-time in a famous person's restaurant. One of the restaurants of the gym owner was closed due to some charges, and Dominic wanted to sell this restaurant. Both of them thought, why not buy this restaurant and work together? They took a loan of $900 from the post office and asked Dominic to buy the restaurant. In return, Dominic gave him some recipes and taught him how to make sauces. They decided to keep the restaurant open from 5 p.m. to 12 a.m., which would help Jim lose his job at the post office. There will be no disturbance, and Tom's dream of studying in the university in the morning will also be fulfilled. He officially opened this restaurant on the 9th of December 1960 and made a sale of $14 on the very first day. In the first week, he did not even have a phone, which means all the customers were, "Come to the restaurant yourself." He then started a delivery service for which he hired 2 factory workers on commission. After a few months, his daily sales reached $107. But these sales were mostly coming from the close of college when the college semester ended. So sales dropped to $28. Jim spent very little time at the restaurant because of his job at the post office. In fact, he did not do any work at all. When sales dropped, the brothers began to quarrel, and on one occasion came to blows. After 8 months of opening the restaurant, Jim left the restaurant even though it was actually his idea. In exchange for a 50 share, Tom gave him a Volkswagen that he had purchased for pizza delivery. Jim happily returned the idea. He drove off without realizing how much of a loss he had actually made. Now Tom became the 100% owner of the restaurant, but this meant that he would have to work full-time, meaning his dream of going to university remained unfulfilled again. He used to stay at the restaurant for days and eat burnt pizza at night. He used to survive by eating, and gradually the sales of the restaurant started increasing again. He also hired 2 helpers, and now the daily profit reached $57. In his free time, he used to visit other pizza stores and keep doing market research. Meanwhile, the owner of an Italian restaurant became his friend, and he gave the recipe of his famous sauce to Tom. When Tom applied this recipe on Dominic, people liked the sauce very much, and the sales started going up again. Now, someone gave Tom an idea that he should start a new restaurant in his name. And he could open a branch as well. But for this, Tom needed a partner who could run his previous restaurant, because now his brother was also not with him. Finally, Tom found a partner, but this partner was going to ruin all his hard work. One day, a man named Jim Gilmore came to Dominic's, whom Tom recognized immediately. He used to run a famous restaurant of the city. Both of them started talking about restaurant business. During this time, Tom told Gilmore about his plans, that he wanted to open a new branch now, because Gilmore also had experience of running a restaurant. That is why both of them, the deal was done. It was decided that Gilmore would get $500 and 10% share in the business, and he would also run the first Dominic's restaurant. But Gilmore said that he did not have $500 right now, and he would give it later because Tom was in dire need of a partner. So he agreed. Gilmore had become Dominic's partner without making any down payment, and he did not give this money to Tom even later. Tom opened his second branch and handed over the first branch to Gilmore. This was the point when Tom realized his mistake, because he had given a share of his business to an unknown person without any investigation. Soon the sales and pizza quality of the first branch started declining, and Tom suspected that Jim Gilmore more also secretly steals money from the cash drawer. Jim Gilmore ran 2 restaurants in the town, but had a drinking habit which caused him to go bankrupt twice. Apart from this, the agreement that Gilmore had made with Tom, some such conditions were added cleverly, that he was only a % share partner in Domino, whereas in case of loss, all the loss would be borne by Tom. Now the situation came to such a pass that Tom started spending time on both the branches, and Gilmore could work at any time he wished. Overall, the thing is that Gilmore was taking unfair advantage of Tom. Tom talked to him many times about ending the agreement, but due to legal issues, he could not get rid of Gilmore. Finally, the matter went to the court. Then the partnership of Tom and Gilmore ended, but obviously Tom had to pay for all the losses incurred. But this did not mean that all of Tom's problems were over. The next quarrel was with a person whose name itself had given Tom a bad name. Dominic Dwighty was running his own business. When Dominic Dwighty saw that Tom was running 2 restaurants in his name and was making good sales, he started feeling professional jealousy. Eventually, Dominic was also running a restaurant in the city in his own name. And due to this, the customers also had a lot of confusion, so he told Tom. This news struck Tom like a bolt of thunder, because he had put in a lot of hard work in promoting this name. Changing the name suddenly meant that all Tom's hard work would go to waste. Someone suggested to Tom to keep a name that was similar to Dominic, because in those days, people used to search for numbers in the phone book, and if there was a similar name, till then, Tom and his team kept thinking of names similar to Dominic, but none of them came to mind. Finally, a pizza driver suggested a name, and that was Domino's. Tom liked this name very much. After that day, he started calling it Domino's and not Dominic's. Changing the name meant that they would have to change the logo as well, so they simply started using domino tiles as the logo. And since they had 3 stores at the time, they added 3 symbols to the tile. Just put the dots. Next time, you can tell what do the dots mean. Thomas Monaghan. His pizza business had now got a new name. He worked hard to improve the recipe and make the business profitable. But Domino's growth began with a strange incident. One day, many staff of the restaurant got together. Tom took a day off from work and removed all the extras from the menu and served only pizzas. Domino's made the most profit on that day. Tom realized that a bigger menu only increases the workload, while a smaller menu makes more profit for that day. Later, Tom removed all the extra items from the menu and focused only on pizzas. Even the pizzas were offered in 2 sizes, 8-inch and 12-inch. Apart from this, Tom noticed that by providing dining facility to the customers, extra staff was being hired, which increases work and reduces profit. Tom revolutionized the delivery business by using cardboard boxes to keep pizzas warm. Not only that, he also improved the service by using delivery pouches. Remember that delivery pouches in which pizzas stay hot. This was first introduced by Domino's. Due to new innovations in delivery, Domino's won over other restaurants. The competition was that most of the area in Pizza Hut branches was spent in providing dinning facility. On the other hand, Domino's had the same prices and higher profit margins as they did not have to spend on dinning facilities. Tom had been in the business for 7 years and was growing rapidly in comparison to others. In 1967, new stores were opened, which were located near colleges and military bases where normally the demand for pizza was high. Instead of spending money on mainstream media for advertising, ads were placed only in college newspapers, which would also have been cheaper. Were more effective too. Over the next 2 years, 32 Domino's franchises were opened. There were initial quality issues, but they were rectified. By the end of 1969, Domino's opened in Michigan. A total of 42 stores were opened in Vermont and Ohio, and by 1978, more than 200 Domino's outlets were opened across the US. Domino's success seemed impossible to stop, but then an incident occurred which caused great damage to Domino's. Domino's delivery in 1980. Everyone had become crazy about the service. Seeing this, Pizza Hut and other competitors also started focusing on delivery. Pizza Hut now wanted to come in direct competition with Domino's. To keep itself away from this, Domino's already. To make their excellent delivery service even better, a new trick was played. In 1984, Domino's started marketing that if the pizza is not delivered within 30 minutes, then they will not charge for the pizza. This trick caused Domino's sales to grow like a rocket. This deal was beneficial for the customers in every way. Either they would get pizza quickly or they would get it for free. This campaign helped Domino's to grow even more. Domino's has had 200 branches in the US, but now it has 5,000 branches globally, and it became the world's fastest growing restaurant chain at that time. But Tom did not know that this trick was going to backfire on Domino's. In 1989, Domino's had a 17% stake. The delivery driver, in an attempt to deliver the pizza quickly, met with an accident with his truck and died on the spot. This incident was reported in the newspapers, and it was written that the 17-year-old young man died while trying to deliver the pizza quickly, obviously early. In order to deliver the goods quickly, drivers used to drive fast by breaking the rules. This news started getting highlighted in national magazines. A report was published which said that in 1 year, 20 fatal accidents happened due to Domino's fast delivery. In another accident, the driver ran his car over a couple, due to which the wife died on the spot. Due to this accident, Domino's had to pay a fine of $32 million. In 1993, another case came up when Domino's driver drove without paying any attention to the red light, and Domino's delivery service was being criticized a lot. The campaign that had taken Domino's to such heights was now at its throat. At this point, Tom finally announced the end of the 30 minutes delivery campaign. Obviously, when a business becomes famous, it also becomes controversial. First the accidents of the drivers, and then the Domino's Foundation. Due to all this, in 1998, Thomas sold Domino's for $1.1 billion.